but I want to introduce to you Hayley Hobson. She is a new double blue diamond. Now, many of you may look at Hayley. She's quite a phenomenon, isn't she? How many of you have ever said, there's no way I can keep up with that woman, right? Okay, I can't keep up with her. I can't keep up with her, but I think many of us would look at Hayley and say, how does she do what she does? Because her influence has truly been great. Yes, she's an Energizer bunny and she never stops. But what I appreciate most about this woman is her heart, her generous heart. She truly, truly cares about people, and she sleeps very little because she wants to make sure that her team is taken care of. Now, she was sending me texts at the end of the month last month as she was approaching double blue diamond, because she had just achieved double diamond the month before. And she said, Emily, I don't want to do it. I don't want people to think that I'm a freak. And I said, Hayley, you are not a freak. You are a truly remarkable woman who is making a difference in so many lives. Now, this is not something I'll say to another group, but I will say to this group. Hayley did not have $1 of buy-in to go double blue diamond, not $1. She did it completely organically. She has so much that we can learn. And so please put your hands together and welcome to stage Hayley Hobson.
Thanks, everyone. It's interesting how at different points in our life we might be sitting in the same place and yet seeing things from a completely different perspective. 2 years ago, I sat here, well, we were actually in Salt Lake City, but I sat here in the very back row of the room as a silver, and I thought, I'm going to be up on that stage one day. So last year, I was invited as a blue diamond to speak, and here I am a year later, and you would think that I had my stuff together. You would think that I felt comfortable getting on the stage right now. And I'll tell you, I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning last night, and I don't even know if I slept until 3. And I was on the toilet like 20 times, stressed out of my mind, wondering why you guys want to hear anything I have to say. And it's just interesting because I have things to tell you that you've probably already heard. And you might have even heard them a dozen times already. My topic today is how to find and cultivate leaders. But I encourage you to put on your new pair of glasses and listen from a completely different perspective. Because I think that as this is the best that there is right now in doTERRA, this room, and maybe that was why I was so nervous to stand in front of this group. I almost feel like I'd rather be talking to 5,000 people tomorrow who are silvers and above than the creme of the creme, right? So put on your new glasses, step into your new shoes, and look at this as a way of hearing what you already know to be true in your heart. And as you are looking for a way to find new leaders and cultivate new leaders, I think the main thing that we want to talk about or really realize ourselves is that we have to step into those roles as leaders. And there are times where we want to coast and we want to just enjoy the ride where it is. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't. There will be obstacles along the way. There will be even times that you feel like your own team is trying to sabotage you. There are leaders that you're trying to help and you feel like they're causing setbacks in your organization. So you feel discouraged and you feel like you can't do it. And you've got to teach them how to do it also, right? You're trying to develop your own leaders. So in order to do something that you've never done before, you have to become someone that you've never been. You have to have and dig deep to find your own belief system and follow your dreams. You have to find your own voice. You have to be authentic. You have to dig very deep within yourself, and you have to lead by example. As John Quincy Adams once said, if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. Leadership is the key to success. And what I'm going to talk about with you today is how to find them, the obstacles, the stigma that we all encounter in this business, how to get past that, how to get past our fears, how to train and develop and created a plan for our entire organization. What is a leader? We are working, as Emily said before, in this mission-driven business. We're here changing lives. Leaders cast a vision. Leaders find and attract others through their authenticity and their voice. And people follow individuals who are on that clear path. So ask yourself right now, what kind of path do you want to be on? And who do you want to attract? As John Maxwell said, a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. So how do we find them? Well, first of all, we have to stay the course. We have to never give up. And we will, all of us, have times where we feel like we're distracted. We feel like our teams get distracted. They dispute the things that we say. They dispute the things the company says. They post things on Facebook that are super discouraging. And we are here to never give up and inspire them. Some of the first roadblocks that I have found in finding leaders are the roadblock of the multi-level marketing industry. And a bunch of untrained, overzealous people have given MLM a bit of a bad reputation, right? Now, no one wakes up one day and says, I think I want to join a multi-level marketing company. I think I want to be a multi-level marketing professional. And there's been dozens of bad network marketers that have given our industry a bad rap. Now we get things like it's a pyramid scheme, or you're just here to bring somebody in and you just want volume in your organization. We know that doTERRA is not like that. We know that we are with a company that has a different mission. So what we have to do as leaders is we've got to get rid of that negativity right off the bat. Make it a non-issue. We need to look at network marketing through a different set of lenses. And the new definition that I have created for the network marketing industry is that we are really empowering a team to achieve their goals while sharing a product or service that we are passionate about. We're not trying to just sell essential oils. We have an awesome product and it works, so thank God. But we are empowering a team to achieve their goals. Like Emily said, it's leadership development and it's personal development. So I don't know about you guys, but I do want to be a professional network marketer, and I'm proud of it. Now it's interesting because my husband is with me today, and he has another job. He's a real estate agent, even though he's been working with me more than often now with my doTERRA business. And he went skiing the other day, and he was on the chairlift with another guy, and they sat down next to each other, and they probably had about a 15-minute ride together, and the guy said to him, so what do you do? After they had about 5 minutes of conversation. And Wes thought about it, and for the first time ever, instead of saying, I'm a real estate agent, he said, I sell essential oils. And the guy said, no way, my wife does too. And after the rest of that ride, we might have a new person on our team whose other company used to start with a YL. Because he was proud of being a network marketer and proud of the opportunity. The next problem that a lot of us have is the problem where we don't feel like we have enough people in our warm market, right? We run out of our friends, we run out of our families. Well, being on the ski lift is a perfect example that there is always a new warm market. And I'll give you another example. I bought a new car about 6 months ago. I had been driving the car that I was in for about 10 years, and I went to the dealership and I test drove 2 different cars that I liked, and then I went home. Then I went back the next day, and I took one of those cars back to Boulder. It was about a 20-minute drive, and spent the day with that car and brought it back. Then I went back the third day and took the second car, drove it back to Boulder, and spent half a day with it and drove it back. Then I took a day off. Then I went back the fourth day, and I decided that I was going to purchase the car. Silly me, I thought you could just show up with your credit card at a car dealership. That's not how it works. So the car dealer drove me to the bank, anxious to get my sale. And while we were there, we're joking around, and he finally asked me what I did, and I told him that I was in a network marketing business, and I sold essential oils. And he said, "No way. I used to be in Amway years ago." And then this was a weird question he asked me. He said, "How much volume do you have?" So I told him, and I don't think, compared to some of the leaders here in the front, that I have that much volume yet. But he said to me, his jaw just dropped, paid for the car, left. Within 5 minutes, he called me. On my new cell phone, in the car, he said, "Hey, that network marketing business that you're in, I want to hear more about it. Let's get together." Now, I'm just pointing this out because we are always in a situation where there are new people in our warm market, and it is all about developing relationships with people. Networking is a lifestyle, and as long as you are opening up your mouth and teaching what Wes and I like to call forward, friends, opportunity, relationships, recreation, and desires, talking about those four things, you will be able to develop relationships with people, and you will be able to create more people in your warm market. This business is about networking. It's called network marketing, right? It's about having a passion and a belief system in yourself, a passion and belief system in the product, a passion and belief system in our company, the opportunity, a belief in our people and in each other, a plan of action, authenticity, and you guys need to show it. And if you're out there and you're not showing that passion, it's so hard to find the leaders that you want to attract. The next problem that we have that is sometimes an obstacle in our success is that we don't want to feel like we're selling something to anybody, right? We don't want to feel pushy. We don't want to talk about the opportunity. We're slightly embarrassed. Here's my thought that I want to share with you. We're not selling anything. We are sharing a solution to a problem. Now, your problem might be migraines. Your problem might be irritable bowel syndrome. Your problem might be sleep issues. Somebody else's problem might be financial. Most people these days need to have another form of disposable income. So if you are not talking about the opportunity that is possible with doTERRA, you're doing yourself and everyone else a disfavor. Ask yourself what kind of solution you have and what kind of solution you can offer to somebody else with a problem. Now I want to give you another example. Wes was in the bank a couple months ago, and he was meeting with our bank manager, and I don't know how this conversation started, but by the end of it, she was sharing with him that she had warts on the bottom of her feet. So he sends me an email and CCs her on us and makes the introduction. This is before when Wes was a real estate agent. So he sent her to me, and she and I, Rebecca, went back and forth at least a dozen times with me inviting her to a class, her saying she was going to show up, her not making it, me RSVPing, trying to get an RSVP again, confirming that she'd come again, re-inviting her, her not coming. Finally, I gave up on Rebecca. And that's hard for me to do. I don't usually give up on people. And then one night, at about 8 o'clock at night, my stepdaughter comes upstairs on a night that we were not having a class and says, "Becky's at the door." And I said, "I don't know who Becky is, and I'm in the bathtub with my 5-year-old. She says, "Well, she says she's here to talk to you about oregano samples." So I quickly got my clothes on and pretended I was in the bath, and I've got my 5-year-old screaming, "Mama, I know you're not coming back." "I'll be right back, Madeline, I promise." So I go downstairs and I proceed to spend an hour with Becky, talking to her not just about her warts on her feet, which I didn't even remember why she was there anymore. It took us so many emails going back and forth. But we started talking about her job at the bank, and we started talking about her managerial position. We started talking about how she was understaffed, and how she had so much stress, and how she never had time to eat, and how she couldn't sleep. And all of a sudden, with Madeline going, "I told you you're not coming back," She got a natural solutions kit, she signed up with LRP, and the next day she signed up her mom to be a builder. Why? Because I helped solve her problem that night. And if you take the time to work with people and not sell them a product, but teach them about not only the opportunity for all of the other ways that the oils can help and enhance their life, but why the loyalty rewards program is so great, and why there's a chance for sharing, and how she can create some extra residual income. If you talk about that type of opportunity, you will attract more leaders. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is finding our own voice and sort of what I like to call branding ourselves. Because if we are continually talking about buy this, people are going to stop listening to us, right? But when we use our own voice to educate, to inform, and even to entertain, then we will not be like anyone else. I remember talking to somebody yesterday on the phone who was telling me that she thought she was exactly the same as everybody else. She was selling the same product, she had the same company, she had the same even medical issues as everybody else. How is she going to be different? And the difference is that we are all different human beings. We all have different personalities, and people connect with all of us differently. So if you can educate coming authentically from your heart, people are going to listen to you. Now, there's a difference, of course, and I'm talking about online, between finding your voice and then finding somebody else's voice and copying it. So I just really want to emphasize that the more authentic that we are, the easier it's going to be for you to find your leaders who want to work with you. Now, branding is the total picture of who you are. It's the way you educate. It's your customer service. It's how quickly you call somebody back. It's how quickly you return an email. It's not just about your logo. It's the images that you might use online. It's more than the product you offer. It is basically you. It is all encompassing you. It's a total picture of you and your business. And the thing is that people will want to do what you do if they connect to you. So if you are authentic, you will find people who you want to work with. Now for me, I'm crazy, I'm intense, but I'm loyal, I work hard, I make things happen, I help other people find success, and I love to develop leadership. So I attract those kind of people that are also crazy and intense. No, just kidding. I have a lot of normal people on my team too. But I attract people who want to be leaders because that's the message that I'm putting out. So what kind of message are you putting out? And it doesn't mean that you have to have a fancy website. It doesn't mean that you have to be posting on Facebook 20 times a day. It doesn't even mean that you have to be online. Your brand is your voice and how you're communicating to others, and how you are helping other people solve their problems. Now, here are some pictures of some, well, there you go. Here are some pictures of some brands that you might identify with. Right, what do we think about when we see the McDonald's logo? You can probably sing their song in your head by now, right? When I think of McDonald's, I think of, even though they're going like now with their green smoothie line, and they're going with their new green products, and they're upping their brand, I will always have an image, I don't know about you guys, at McDonald's, of being fast, inexpensive, not that great food for you, right? Apple, on the other hand, what do you think about? I don't know, we have like 20 Apple products in our house, and we only have 4 people living in our house. I think of it as a sleek, awesome customer service, experience, products that work, products that are fun, products that are sexy. BMW, I think of a smooth ride, I think of a stable car. Like, we have these images when we see these logos. Now, you don't need a fancy logo to create the you, but you do need a voice. So what kind of voice do you want to have so that people are being educated by you? And when you start talking, they start listening. Branding is the thing that's going to set you apart as a leader. It allows your audience to know that they are working with exactly the right person that they need to be working with. Now, let's face it, we're at 1.7 million doTERRA reps these days, is that right? 1.8? And we're not stopping, right? There are a lot of us out there. It doesn't mean that the market is overcrowded, not at all, but what it means is that we have to sort of compete with other people. But if you have an authentic voice and you have a strong brand, there is no competition because people are always going to be attracted to you because of who you are. Now, I had an interesting conversation with Elise Chedevy I think it was last year. And I was actually talking to her about the opposite. We were talking about people who aren't attracted to us. We had this conversation and went like this. I said to her, I feel like there's a lot of people that don't want to work with me. Some of them are on my team. How do you get around that? And she said, here's the deal, Hayley. There's going to be people that you attract, and there's going to be people that you repel. And you have to repel people in order to attract the people that you want to work with, because no one is going to be able to communicate to such a huge audience. And it put my mind at ease and it put my heart at rest, because I realized that I only want to work with the people that are attracted to me and that I'm attracted to. Because what happens when you find builders and there's a clash of personality? It doesn't work, right? We get irritated with them, we lose sleep over it, we fight. It's not good, it's not pretty, right? So if you can work on the audience that you want to attract, even if you're pushing or repelling other people away, it's just perfect. Remember that your brand is you. So paint a very clear picture of who your target audience is, meaning what kind of leader do you want to find? Who do you want to attract as a leader? Now I have a picture here of 2 Facebook posts that I put up on my site, or my Facebook page a couple months ago, just to give you an example of what branding can look like online. Now the first is an awesome picture that doTERRA actually used on their Facebook page that I shared. And it's a picture where doTERRA is probably marketing to us that elevation is 10% off. And you'll notice that on my Facebook page, that post did not do really well. Even Facebook didn't think that post would do really well. They only showed it to 109 people. Why? Because it was a post where I was trying to sell an item, or so they thought. Even though I was really just educating the people that I know that the elevation was 10% off. Now look at the second post, where I have more of me in that brand. There's a blend that I put together, and I've called it Let It Go, and I'm attracting people who are, like me, need to let it go, right? So that's the kind of person that's going to be more attracted to me because of that post. It's still selling the oil. It's still selling the idea of reducing stress, but the people that might want to come on and then do the business with me are going to be that kind of person that's attracted to that post. Make sense? That's how you find your builders. It's getting people excited about the things that you are excited about. We are solving problems. I don't ever think that I'm a person who's selling essential oils to somebody. I'm showing people how to get rid of their headaches. I'm helping people with their digestive issues. I'm helping people resolve their stress issues. So I advise you or recommend that instead of trying to sell the idea of the oils or the idea of the business, that you reach out and try to solve people's problems, like finances, and be a problem solver. Now, we've heard the why a zillion times, the big question, why are we in this business? And I'm sure that all of us have gone through this at one point. What is our mission? What is our purpose in being here? But then we forget about it. And we're going up and we're on this ride and we like where we are, right? I had this conversation with one of my platinums the other day and I said, why are you not working on that 4th leg? When are you going diamond? And she said to me, well, I'm just waiting for her to start building. And I said, you're waiting for her to start building? Why don't you just build her leg, right? Don't you want to go diamond? What are we sitting around waiting for? What is our mission? What is our purpose? And if our why isn't strong enough, because I knew she wanted to be Diamond, I knew she wanted to be sitting here. If we are not connected and reconnected over and over and over again to our own why, then we can't help other people find theirs and remind them why they came here in the first place. So again, do we sell essential oils? Or as Emily said, do we change lives? This is a much more empowering perspective. I'm talking about leadership development. I'm talking about personal development. And even on the hard days, and there will be hard ones, we want to remember why we're here.
Hey, you're like way early. Early. Nope, you're on time. Awesome. I know, Miss Functional. Hey, all right, come on in.
I just love having a business where I can stay home and have all the flexibility in the world. And bonus, I get to have my kids with me all the time. What?
I love this job. It's the best job in the world. Next to being a mom, of course. No, it's pretty much the best job in the world.
Mommy, do you have a tattoo?
No, thank you. What? Oh, awesome. This one. I love it that you can come in and work with me, right?
Yes.
Right by my side. You can work with me with your dolls.
It's kind of awesome because it has like the top 10 oils that people mostly use, like more often than not. Lemon oil can totally take that off.
Okay, hold on for me 1 second. Okay, Madeline, just can you give me 1 second while I'm on the phone? Just 1 second, please. Love you.
I'm thirsty.
Okay, Madeline, 2 minutes, okay? Yeah, no, I mean, this is what my life is like always. It's total chaos. Ah! Even though there is so much going on, total chaos all the time, I always make sure that my little Madeline has a healthy diet.
Ooh, can I have a cookie?
Oh, okay, here, just take this and, all right, thank you. All right, I'm sorry about that.
My kids are pretty much being raised with goldfish and applesauce right now.
What? What is going on? What?
Awesome! Do I care if my kids get an oil in their eye? No. I'm preparing them for the world. If you can handle an oil in the eye, what could you not do? Seriously. Get down. I'll get the coconut oil. Get down. Can your kids handle that? I don't think so. Mine can't.
It is so important for us to make sure that we have time for ourselves every day.
Welcome yourself to your practice today by closing your eyes and dropping into the sound of your breathing.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop! Stop! I'm sorry. You're so crazy today. Kind of makes you wish they had like an ether oil, you know? Just like, woo! You're right, that's not funny, I'm sorry. Okay, so let's look at your options here.
Okay, Madeline, I'm teaching my class right now. Okay, yeah. Okay, I know, but I'm teaching a class right now. Okay. Is there an oil for this? Okay.
That's what it's like, isn't it? It is. All right, I think we just skipped one slide too fast. Can we go back one? Great. So as George Washington Carver said, when there's no vision, and Mandy and I obviously see the vision, all you mamas out there do, there is no hope. Now, fear is the first thing that you guys are one of the things that you guys are gonna butt up against when you are developing new leaders. And like I admitted it myself, it's fearful for me to get on stage today and talk to the best people in this company right now. But when we can get past our fears, when we can get out there and do something that we have never done before or are not comfortable doing, when we can get out of our comfort zone, we can step up and be leaders. When you can believe in yourself, it is amazing what you can accomplish. And there is not one business owner that doesn't have some type of fear going forward in their business, right? The most successful people in this business, as I've noticed from being on lots of different trips with you guys, is that the most successful people are people that don't have uplines. They're people without the most support. They're people that have had to figure a lot of it out by themselves. They're people who are hungry. So I ask you one more time, how hungry are you? You're out there, you're looking for people who are hungry, right? But how hungry are you? And by hunger, I'm talking about the kind of hunger that pushes you beyond what you think is possible. The kind of hunger that I'm talking about that pushes you forward and drives you every day to help build your team. You've got to operate like the word can't is not in your vocabulary. That kind of hunger is going to develop you as a leader, and is going to help you identify who the leaders are in your organization. How badly do you want it? This is just a picture of me and my daughter doing a webinar for a couple hundred people, and she decided that she wanted to be in it, and I was not going to give up, so I wore the silly glasses that she wanted me to wear, let her in the webinar, and there we did it. How badly do you want it? I'm sure a lot of you, this is what your laundry room or your house looks like every day, right? Or the time to yourself that you can't find because your computer won't stop binging. But how badly do you want it? Now, one of the things that I know that we're all looking for is solidity in our organization. So we've got to work on finding the internal drive to succeed and not get distracted and teach others to do the same thing. This is a conversation that a lot of people have. And what I want to say about this is what you focus on the longest becomes the strongest. I learned this from Les Brown last week or the week before. What you think about, you bring about. So please don't get distracted with people that aren't doing things in your organization and you feel like should be stepping up into the shoes of the leader just because they have teams underneath of you. You'll be surprised at how many people you can actually cultivate in time from them just seeing what is going on underneath of them. I mean, I think of my own upline, for example. When I came into my organization, there were layers of 7 or 8 people that weren't building the business. And now they're all active. So instead of getting distracted by negativity and drama, take responsibility and stop making excuses. Taprooting is another one. Look for pockets of activity that are going on in your organization. I remember when Wade Holbrook reached out to me my first month and he saw me go premier within 30 days. He inspired me. He inspired me to take action and take responsibility. And I don't know if it wasn't for him, if I would have pushed on as quickly as I did. I was so motivated that my diamond upline had reached out. I said, look, Wes, we got an email from our diamond upline. But he saw a pocket of activity 8 levels behind him. And he saw that there was a chance for long-term stability in his organization, and I do the same with mine, and I hope you guys can look for the same with yours. It doesn't matter if you haven't enrolled them. It doesn't matter if they're on your 9th level. You have no idea what kind of stability is going to happen in your organization, and even what kind of unilevel check is in your potential if you work with those pockets of people underneath of you. Remember that you are training and developing leadership, and it doesn't matter where they are. And as part of that, and I'm going to wrap up because I know I'm running out of time, as part of that training and leadership development, you guys know that it's about helping other people climb the mountain, creating a plan, showing people what you do so they can do it too, remembering that your success and their success is always going to be a bumpy road. It's not easy. It will feel like at times your dream is different than everyone else's. But get to that place that you want to go to. And I promise you that you'll find other people too. Invest in the success in others. Get on team calls, do your Facebook hangouts, do your team chats, teach them classes right away, do 3-way calls with people 9 levels down, help them fill out their business plans or their builder worksheets, teach them how to place people in the organization. Remember, it's not about just the people on your 1st and 2nd level. You can't hit Presidential Diamond unless you're teaching your 3rd and 4th and 5th level how to place effectively. So look down at those pockets of activity and help those people below you. Travel, do Diamond Club, teach your team how to do Diamond Club, get on the road. Even if you're not enrolled to them, invest in their success. Get them to these events, leaderships, conferences, educational summits, your own team summits. And remember that you are here to live out your imagination, not your history. Your success is in you. So can everybody just stand up for a second? And turn to the person to your right and say, I am going to take responsibility. Say to yourself, this is my dream. Remember that you are going to fail your way to success. You will fail your way to success, but you can become the entrepreneur. And your learning power will be directly related to the level of commitment and your ability to make it happen. And by the way, if you can look up, you can get up. Thank you.